Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Helldivers 2. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zero. Let's get to it. So today we're taking the fight to the robots, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So, the first time you go into an automaton mission is going to be a real eye-opener. So I don't know that this was my first mission, but it was one of the first missions, and more than likely the first level 5 difficulty mission. I had done some Terminid missions, and I said, oh, you know what, there are some automaton missions that we can do. And I was like, well, you know, I've been able to do difficulty 5 Terminid missions, and it's not horrible. It's doable. So should be able to do the same thing for automatons, right? Yeah, what an eye-opener it is. Automatons are nothing like Terminids, and the difficulty level doesn't seem to be in parallel to the Terminid difficulty level. So, you know, I mean, certainly the weapons that you bring into a Terminid fight are not going to be the same that you bring into a automaton. It just doesn't work out quite the same. When you get to higher level difficulty, 7 through 9 especially, it's going to be at least similar, the stratagems you bring in. If you're, you know, bringing the fight to the enemy, if you're kind of fooling around, I mean, you could certainly try different things to see what works and what doesn't work, etc. But if you're trying, I like how the guy just stepped right in front of the sentry gun. But you're not going to bring necessarily the same stratagems in on an automaton versus a Terminid mission. You know that the Terminids are more damaged by, you know, incendiary tactics. So things like incendiary grenades or weapons that have incendiary ammunition is certainly going to make a big difference. And then you have, you know, the weak points of the Terminids tend to be the back end of them versus the robots. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's not. Like the Striders. Striders are the same because if you can hit the pilot that's in the back of the Scout Strider, then it'll be a lot easier. But then you have like the tanks or the Hulks, etc. Any of those heavy armor guys that make things a little bit more interesting. And of course, I brought in a couple of experimental weapons and stratagems to see how it would work out in the automaton missions, and it was a realization that, you know, sometimes what works in one against one type of enemy does not work against the other. Lasers work okay against automatons, the robots, but there's certainly better weapons out there. Now I know that there's a consensus or a campaign, or whatever you want to call it, petition, to try and have the developers give you a little bit more powerful primary weapons. Like your secondary weapon, it's like, you know, it's okay. It's not really meant to be used 100% of the time. Mainly it's I need to take these guys out that are right in front of me. I don't have enough time to reload, so I'm going to switch to my secondary and attack these guys. But, you know, that one of the ways that you can figure out what works and what doesn't work against certain guys, or, you know, for your play style is to try them out. You know, you can check things out, see how it works, how it doesn't work, what it's more or less useful for. But you're probably not going to want to go into maybe even 6 or higher trying stuff out. You want to do like 4 or 5 where you still have heavy armor guys coming at you, but you're not going to have this relentless horde like you do on some of the higher difficulty levels. But like I said, the robot missions are not like the not at all comparable to the Terminid missions. Waiting for this guy to drop the package into the mail slot. Yeah, I felt like my main weapon was not completely useless, but not very good. Just seems like there's a lot better weapons out there. Lasers are single opponent attacks. You only hit really one guy at a time. Ooh, and there's a guy right behind me. Yeah, those jetpack guys are, well, annoying for several reasons. One, because they can jump towards you and close the distance very, very quickly. And the other, of course, is that their jet fuel is explosive. So once you take them out, most of the time they will explode. So if they're really close to you, then it's going to be a problem.
Heavy southwest, close.
Yeah, like I said though, this was kind of trying different things out. Like the 500 kilogram bomb was fairly new for me at the time that I did this mission, so I wanted to bring that in because I was like, ooh, that's a really big bomb. Okay. And then I found out it's a little bit underwhelming because it seems like it doesn't do as much area of effect damage as what I think it should do. So I think a lot of people have this idea that it's like a mini nuke because it's such a huge bomb, but it's not. It's very, very contained. So maybe it does a whole lot of damage, but you have to be very, very close. Whatever the case may be, it's not this awe-inspiring bomb like I think everyone thinks of it, that it should be. The artillery gun is probably the closest thing to a reliable area of effect. And even then, you know, it's dependent on what ammunition they give you in a particular mission, if it's even available on your particular mission that you have. So if you see one of these things, little garages, but you need 2 people. You need one person to hit one button, one person to hit the other button, and you have to hit both of them at the same time, or have a person on each button. There we go. Once it turns green, then it'll open up and you can grab what's inside. So ammo, grenades. Sometimes there's requisition credits, war bond medals, samples, guns. You just don't know until you open it up. So it's usually worthwhile, assuming you have a second player close by, to open it up. Assuming that your teammate is going to pay attention to you needing help. I remember the original Helldivers game, the laser weapons that you can unlock turn out to be really, or started off quite powerful, and then not quite as powerful as time went on. But all the weapons in the original game were upgradable to where they weren't that great when you first unlocked them, but as you upgraded them, all of a sudden, you know, you were getting better range, better heat sink, better damage, whatever the case may be, and for that particular weapon. So we may see something like that in the future for Helldivers 2, where you've got a whole bunch of guns, but you're going to be able to upgrade them. Is that definitely the case? No. You know, they've not said definitively that something like that is going to happen or will happen, but we can always hope. As I said before, there's a lot of players a little disappointed in the amount of damage that they get from the primary weapons. All the support weapons are the ones that you almost have to use, especially on higher difficulty missions. Yeah, unfortunately, your Helldiver doesn't know how to swim, so if you have anything that is more than wading depth, you're going down. I mean, so far I've had a lot of fun playing Helldivers 2. When you get to a point, I think, sometime after 20, level 20, where you start getting, or you have, all of the stratagems, and you've kind of played around with all of them at least once or twice to see how they work. You kind of get into the mode where you're trying to get samples, where you can get the ship modules upgraded, so then you have the you know, quote, full experience, where you have barrages that have an extra deployment, and you know, the Eagles rearm faster, etc., etc. So all these things are optimized, and then you have to go through and kind of play around again with stuff and see how everything's going. So with 4 people, you generally have, almost always, I'll say, I don't know any instances where it's not the case, you get 20 reinforce. Nice. Per mission. So you can have one person that goes down, you know, 20 times, or a combination of everyone that goes down. Those jump pad guys. Just seems like the robots have thicker armor, even the basic guys. So now we're at the point in the mission where you have extraction available. You don't have to, because you can still look around for robot camps, take out their generators, unit generators. You can look for the optional objectives. You can, there's a whole host of things that you can do. You can run around and look for samples. Samples are quite important in the game.
Reinforcing.
So once you get all the stratagems, then all of a sudden you're like, man, I need to get some samples to upgrade my ship modules. You realize that you're... Oh, there we go. Got my backpack back.
Dropping a pin. South.
In between getting... before you get the shield generator backpack, the laser rover is one of the better backpacks to have. That one, or like the supply backpack, so you've always got extra supplies, or like one of the ammo support bags for the spear or the autocannon, recoilless rifle, etc. Not sure what hit me there. Knocked me for a loop there. Oh, there's a tank on the side there. You gotta be careful because it's got a gun, but it also has the cannon, and the cannon does a huge amount of area damage. And then this whole base, you can see a couple turrets that are elevated.
Calling down a sentry.
And it's difficult to take those guys out. You have to actually get behind them and hit them in the weak point. That tank's gotten out. Now you got there's a whole bunch of guys running around. So I think initially the group wanted to keep going, get some samples, take out some camps, but all of a sudden it started getting really, really crazy.
Calling in reinforcements.
And reinforcements just keep going down and down, farther and farther. I mean, this just feels like a higher level difficulty. This doesn't feel like a 5, like a 5 Terminid mission with the right, with the right weapons and stratagems. You can still more or less hold your ground. With the automatons, that's not the case. You're getting overrun pretty quick. Right when we got in, some guys both on the side and in front, and one of them was a heavy tank, so it was quickly, the tide's turning against us quite quickly. This guy, he's got a autocannon. Why he picked up the backpack for the autocannon, I don't know. Because you cannot resupply your own autocannon. For a second there, I thought that robot was a teammate. There's a whole bunch of guys.
Reinforcing.
There we go. Now went from 10 down to 1. One reinforce. Someone got that outpost. All out of stamina. Still running for the extraction. There's guys. You can hear them coming up, and you kind of look around, and you're not really sure where the sound is coming from. Oop. soon as you start burning, you need to take a dive, otherwise you're getting taken out. Now we're out of reinforcements. Got one person down. We've got 3 people up. So still, I mean, not great, but still okay. Getting close to the extraction. Came across another robot outpost, and it's not a great situation because there's guys that are chasing, and then guys, you know, you're getting pinched from the front and the back, or from the sides, or whatever the case may be. So trying to do a little defense, but also trying to make our way to extraction. It starts looking really, really ugly. But anyway, to summarize, I think the robots, you have to do a lot more running at the same difficulty level. Oh, that was close. That was close. And those guys with the chainsaws for hands, they have a decent amount of armor where it feels like you're taking a full clip to take one guy out. Those guys are fine, but then the and then all of a sudden a whole bunch of them run in. I don't know. Oh, it was a grenade. Ooh, got rid of a whole bunch of them. Boom, and he went down. Like trying to hit the extraction, but it's like, we gotta reinforce, get someone back right away so that they can help clear the area out so we can get out. So many guys. Oh, and then I got taken out. You can still see what's going on. Oh, here's the guy with the autocannon. So autocannon does pretty decently for medium armor. It does okay for heavy armor. I wouldn't say it does well. The problem is that it takes several hits for just medium armor, and heavy armor takes a whole clip. There we go. One Helldiver left to make it out. Now, because we've already finished our objectives, even if everyone goes down, we still get credit for the win in the mission. The problem is that you want to be able to get out because you want to bring those samples back, because that's the only way to get samples. So you'll still get experience and requisition and war bonds for every successful mission. You get everything, but you have to extract with those samples. And I can't believe I have to say it, if one person gets the sample, everyone gets credit for it. Just like you finish a mission, everyone gets that experience and everyone gets that requisition points. Ooh, coming up on the next reinforce. But
I just have,
you know, there's nothing in there that you have individual. I mean, really anything individual. It's all or nothing. Resupply's coming back up.
Requesting sentry.
Running around. Yeah, unfortunately I've got a weapon that works for individual targets, not so much for groups of targets. So this laser works okay. But once you, especially when you get to higher level missions, it's really, really not great. because almost exclusively you have hordes of enemies, so the laser's really not going to do you a whole lot of good.
Pelican 1, preparing for touchdown.
Oh, there we go. Plane's coming in, it's time to get out. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media, and thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
Oh my god.
Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Democracy prevails.